I wonder how different friends would be if Joey had been born into an Irish Catholic family rather than an Italian one. Probably still have the same number of siblings though. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife, and today Friends is going to be picking the books that I am going to be reading in March. There is a caveat this time because all of the books that I read in March are exclusively by Irish authors. I've been doing it this way for a couple of years, and I feel like it's such a great way to celebrate my heritage, to celebrate my home country, and to kind of make it feel like I am back at home even if I'm not back in Ireland. Because there are no Friends episodes that are set in Ireland or set around St. Patrick's Day or have anything to do with Ireland, all 5 of the books this time are going to come from randomly generated episodes. So let's see what the wheel has got in store. Episode number 1 is the one with Joey's Dirty Day, and this is going to be a book that is set outside. This one took kind of a while for me to figure out, but I think I've got something. I'm going to go with The Sea by John Banville. I haven't read any John Banville books before, but both of my parents have really enjoyed his work, so hopefully that is a genetic trait that has been passed down to me. This is about a man whose wife has just passed away, so he heads back to the small town in Wexford, which is right beside the ocean, where he is going to kind of reset and figure out some things. I absolutely love books that are set around where I grew up because Wexford is really close to where I was born. So I'm hoping that that kind of a connection is just going to drag me in a little bit more. Episode number 2 is the one with the late Thanksgiving. For this, you need to read a book that you meant to read last year, but you never got around to it. And for that, I'm going with The Snag List by Sophie White. I absolutely love everything that I've read from Sophie White before, and I picked this up sometime in the summer of 2024, and I meant to read it so many times, but it just kept evading me. This book is about Lindy, Alva, and Ro. All 3 of these women have just bought a house in a really beautiful housing estate. And this is about them moving into the house, all of the trials and tribulations that come with that, but also all of the other things that they are dealing with in their personal lives. I really love how Sophie White does this. She has written a couple of other books before where you're focusing on 3 separate people with their own separate struggles and their own separate things that they're going through, but they are all kind of tied together under one rainbow. And I'm so interested to see how this is going to be done in this book too. Next up is the one with the blackout, and for this you need to read a book that has a dark cover. I have gone with Exile by Amy Walsh for this. This is about Fia, who is living in Belfast and is kind of living a quite high octane life full of parties and debauchery and fun. But one night when she wakes up from a night out that she genuinely cannot remember and rumours start to circle, Fia's life starts to spiral. So she heads for a new city and for a new start. What follows is a life in Liverpool as a very stressed out college student. She has got deadlines looming, she's got classes that she has been missing out on, and it's basically a look at what life is like for college students in the UK. I am so interested to see what this one is going to be like, and if it's going to be a kind of a memory of when I was in my own college days in the UK because I did a master's in Cardiff. So let's see if this just brings back any memories from that. Next up is the one with the cheap wedding dress, where you need to read a book that you got for free. And for this one, I'm going to be reading Moving On by Roisin Meany. This is a NetGalley copy that I got, and I think the book is coming out in early March, so this is the perfect time to read it. It's about Ellen, who has left her small childhood hometown behind her and has moved away to the bigger city of Galway. Galway is one of my favourite places in the entire country, if not the entire world, so reading a book that is set in Galway is definitely going to do something for me. While she is here, she's working in a bookshop and has met with a young man named Ben, who has really caught her eye. But when life in Galway doesn't excite her as much anymore, Ellen heads off for the bright lights and big city of London. While she's in London, she also meets with a young banker named Leo, and once again, a relationship starts to form between the two of them. But always in the back of her mind is her childhood best friend Danny and what could have been between the two of them. I'm also so interested in what's going to happen between those kind of three guys and Ellen and see who it is that she's going to end up with at the end of the book, and I cannot wait to get the answers I need. The final spin was the one where Underdog gets away, and for this you need to read an underrated book. I haven't heard a single person talking about Hey Zoe by Sarah Crossan, but any book that I've read from Sarah Crossan before has absolutely touched gold for me. So I'm really hoping that this kind of more adult book from her is going to work for me. This is about Dolores, who finds her husband's animatronic sex doll in the garage. At first, she does nothing because their marriage is getting kind of stale anyway, and there's no real reason to stick around. They don't have any kids, they've been in a dead bedroom, and things just aren't going super well. But suddenly, Dolores has a change of heart and moves Zoe into the house and starts having conversations with her. And this is where things start to really spiral out of control. Anybody with any kind of home assistant is definitely going to read this one with a little bit of worry in their stomach, including myself. So let's see what happens by the end of it. Those are the 5 books that my friend's TBR game has endeavoured for me to read this March, all focusing around Irish authors. Are there any books on this list that sound really intriguing to you? Or what is a book by an Irish author that you're going to focus on for March? If you'd love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me an emoji that reminds you of Ireland. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.